Guys, use these platforms. Don't use them to consume. Or just sit back and watch other people do it. You're on camera right now. They only see me on screens.
I felt like I was around all
I stuck in that traffic too? It's like a tree. Something like that. Who's counting? Next time, bring a videographer.
What? I brought my camera.
Bring a videographer.
Yeah.
If you want to go all in on media, it's required. You could go from like however many sales you're doing to probably like double, triple.
People just don't know about it.
They don't. The thing that's critical in media is not to position yourself as the hero, but instead to position yourself as a guide. If you think about stories, right? There's different characters in a story. The weakest person in the story is the villain. The second weakest person is the hero. So if I'm posting content, look at me, here's what I'm doing, here's a home I sold, here's a closing we had, I'm the hero. Instead, I should be thinking, how can I be perceived as a guide to help people to solve their problems? And the book that you need to read is Story Brand by Donald Miller. That needs to inform all of your media. Once you understand story branding, you realize how embarrassingly your media is just for you. Not for anybody else. Like, here's me and my kids. Here's me and my agent. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's watching that. Just so you know, nobody. Like your mom might be like, that's it.
Transferring that to post-con and things like, instead of just saying just sold.
You should say, here's the problem that they had. Here's the plan that we used. Here's them with the outcome. If you want more information, I'm going to call you to action. I want you to do something. Call me. So what'll happen now is people start to watch, like you were saying, you started watching content. But notice in my content, do I ever make myself the hero? No, I've sold 2,000 homes. I've attracted 350 people, but I never talk about it. So let's say you consume all this content. And then let's say I come out with a course on media. Would you see me as a guide to help you to solve your problem? And then you would give me money. Haha. Yes? Do you understand? That's how you do it. It's just understanding, like, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed woman's queen. If you could see some stuff that other people can't, it's incredibly advantageous. So everybody out here is blindly walking around making it about themselves. They're doing it completely wrong. And then they wonder why. Why is your channel blowing up? Because I'm a guide. I'm not some jester. Like you, instead of like, I think Kim Kardashian did people a huge disservice. You know what she pushed into the world? Look at me. You know what you guys need to be focused on? Listen to me, not look at me. Yeah, no, listen to what I'm saying. You know, I have coaching clients where I'll hop on, and I mean this lovingly, they're females, and I'll look at their content. I'm like, I can't tell what you're selling. Looks like you're selling something else. That's a different form of prospecting, team. Yes? They're doing it wrong, right? And I get it, like it's a form of power and you want to show that, but that doesn't position you as a guide to help anybody to solve their problems. It doesn't. Does that make sense?
And once Aaron told me about this, about the guide.
So he's the guy who watched 1,000 hours worth of content, clear across the country, called me on the phone and said, hey, never met him, and was like, yo, I want to partner with you.
100%. And he had a full like listing presentation that
on YouTube,
and like the link to the whole PDF or whatever was on there. And I followed it 100%. I watched his presentation like 100 times. Crazy.
Took listings,
and the first one was like a $1.3 million listing.
So to that point, the best way to show somebody you can help them is by for free. Because then you know what you start to think, bro, if he helps me for free, how much would he help me if I paid him? Or how much would he help me if I got close to him? Yes? In doing so, you're positioning yourself as a guide to help them to solve their problem. Okay. And then they'll reach out to you.
Before you guys finish up, should be two different handles.
Yeah, so I think it's two channels because it's two separate avatars. Yeah. So like I do all of my stuff on one channel because my avatar is only agents. Yeah, exactly. So I have a coaching program that we sell coaching and high ticket items, but then we do attraction. So we've brought 356 agents in 2.5 years, but it's because I position myself as a guide to help them to solve their problem. What is agents' problem? They want to do more deals. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. Now, I do believe that there's a very interesting blend. So I was just at the Pace actually invited me to this thing called the Clever Investor, Cody Sperber. I don't know if you know this. What was interesting is a lot of the wholesalers or people that do they would come up to me and they'd be like, yeah, we do like 20 deals a month. I'm like, great. How many offers you making? 300. Yeah. What are you doing with all the listings? Nothing. Then all the agents come up to me and I'm like, how many deals are you doing? They're like this. I'm like, great. And I'm like, all right, what do you do when somebody wants something creative? Nothing. So the blend is both. So if you can position yourself as a guide to help agents solve that problem, you'll also build your downline, which will become the actual frictionless thing that makes the most money with the least amount of noise. because it's a reoccurring stream of revenue where like the flipping and the whole whatever, it's just a mechanism to raise cash. But the purpose is to get to monthly recurring revenue in like multifamily or something like that. Because that's what creates time freedom and location freedom. Otherwise, I always have to be there. It's just another hustle.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that's it. Awesome. Well, you're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I think I'm like again, that perfectionist thing is more of a video, and
It's not. So I really want you to think about what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the fear of failure in disguise. That's what it is.
'Cause
And it's not a video thing. It's not that. And it's putting too much emphasis on what people think.
Okay.
So in essence, what it is, lovingly,
Nope, you're good.
I'm idolizing people's opinions.
Yeah.
I'm putting them on a pedestal. Where if you notice, and again, I mean this lovingly, did it seem like, thank you, you're awesome. Hey, did it seem like I cared at all what anybody thought? No. When I was up there, does it seem like I'm worried about how people are perceiving me? Not at all. And as a result, though, what I said is true. There are people in that room that didn't like me. I'm fine with it. But my tribe gets attracted to me. Yes? So you need to understand that, like, I know I'm aware, like, we grew up in environments where you're not supposed to stick out. You're not supposed to raise your voice. You're not supposed to say anything that people don't like. But in that platform, I have to be myself. And being yourself, you will cause people not to like you.
That's a lot. That's rings true for me because I came from the corporate world.
Right.
And so I always had to be very
prim and proper.
Yes.
Always look a certain way, always behave a certain way.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And what happens is I get a lot of static for it. They're waiting for me for a picture.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, yes, take care. And like I shared with you, is prior to coming to these, I know it's like fun. And people's ratio, I'm not suggesting it's true for you, but just in general, their ratio of fun to learning is usually like 80% fun, 20% learning. So
I did not come to do that.
having a ratio of like, hey, what do I really want to learn about? Who do I want to meet? Who do I want to get proximity to? Like that guy I was just talking to, his name's Brandon. He came to the company. He has 22 companies. Yeah, but he deserves to wear the color shoes. So red. Well, I mean, your boy's got him on too. He has 22 companies. He has a lending company that does $60 million a year in revenue. So there's like people walking around that are that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like figuring out what do you want to know about, what do you want to learn about.
We're gonna think that through here in life.
Yeah, and we're gonna what's his name? There's a guy here who's getting ready to partner with us. He does 75 million in volume, 5,000 sales. He didn't come.
No.
What was interesting is that I texted him and he didn't respond. Like the day before, I was like, all right. And then he told me the day of, like the day, because he was supposed to come to our probate event. We did a lunch and learn. Yeah. I mean, I think that when people, particularly agents that are in high volume, there's a lot of it for them to unwind. There's like transactions and all this stuff. So it's like a little cumbersome, but I have no reason to imagine that he's not. So we'll see. Sometimes yeah. Exactly. You said no for 7 years, man. You know what I tell people when I'm teaching this? I'm like, okay, how many people have a significant other? They all raise their hand. I'm like, did you say yes the first time they asked? Usually the answer is no.
Yeah.
Had to be like multiple attempts, right?
Yeah.
What's up, Rockstar? Hey, how is your... Come here. How's your husband doing? I believe that the future of real estate is what you're doing, which is where an agent will be able to provide multiple options and choices. And whatever option you choose, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I agree.
So if someone's...
We've been doing it.
Yeah, no. And your point is because I went to the Clever Summit. Do you know Cody? Yeah.
I know Cody very well.
So Pace invited me there,
Yeah.
Morby.
Yeah, no, Pace very well too.
Yeah. And I would have people come up to me and the wholesalers, I would say, how many deals are you doing? They're like 20. I'm like, great. How many offers you making? 300.
Yep.
How many listings are in there? Probably 10. What are you doing with them? Nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Then all of the agents, which are like, hey, what do you do if somebody says they want a cash offer or something creative? Nothing.
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
They're both leaving them on the table.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So what I'm aware of, I told Pace, because I was on his wholesale, whatever hotline.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, why do you think our communities don't hang out with each other?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, a couple reasons. He was like, why? I'm like, well, one, you guys kind of talk shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like all agents,
Well,
right?
there's a lot of bad holes. There's a lot of people that do it. They give it a bad name. They don't do shit the right way.
Well, that, and I think we both have the same avatar,
Yeah.
which is a motivated seller,
Yeah.
right? But I
Yeah.
think that they can learn from us on what to say and how to say it, salesmanship, and we can learn from them about
Yeah.
creativity.
Yeah, but you know the one thing with Pace that I've said a few times, Pace is brilliant. I'm like, dude, no one can. There's very few people that can architect a deal like that. Do you know what I mean? It's
Because of his intelligence, his ability, capacity to do it.
It's like he's like, no, everybody can do creative finance, and I'm like, no, they can't.
No,
They can't.
because most people,
because people can't see they can't see the roadmap the same way that you can.
yeah. So the challenge is like he's a visionary, and not everybody is.
And by the way, he's a special.
I know. He's been
he's
incredibly kind to me.
Not just that. Like he's like if he was here,
A go-giver,
and
bro.
there was a line of 700 people,
He would stay the whole time.
He would stay and speak to every.
I know.
I've watched him.
I've watched him do it too.
Till 2:00 in the morning.
I know.
Like he'll do it till 2:00.
In terms of like community, it's wild. Yeah. And I'm aware that Pace built his whole community with media. Pineda the same. When I was on Pineda's podcast,
Pace was YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what I said at the meeting, which nobody, like, people are like, whoa, 10% of all TV time now is YouTube.
No, I caught that.
7.8% is Netflix.
Yeah.
YouTube's more than Netflix.
Yeah.
So if that's what's true, like, I think to your point, it's a lack of understanding that attention's more valuable than money. So what would you rather have, $100,000 or 100,000 subs on YouTube?
Yeah.
100,000 subs on YouTube all day long.
Yeah, because you're going to make it.
So this is cool to actually meet in person.
I think so.
Yeah, so we met initially in the digital world, yes?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
The content was helpful to you. Exactly how was it helpful to you?
Yeah, so I was working to scale my business and I wanted to get better at my listing presentation. I'd been on a bunch before that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to take it to the next level. And I think that I got a recommendation or I searched listing presentation practice or whatever it was.
Sure.
And then I saw Aaron's videos.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, and the videos gave you kind of tactical information that you actually used, deployed, and got good results, yes?
Yeah, so I had a $1.3 million listing presentation coming up.
That's awesome.
And I watched Aaron's video quite a few times on the listing presentation itself. And it wasn't just mindset, you need to go in there and have positive affirmations. It wasn't that. It was specifically, tactically, this is what you say in this order. This is how you do so many assumptive closes.
Yes.
Because you need to close 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, to get
someone to actually say yes.
Sure.
And I did exactly what Aaron said. And I got the listing that night. They signed it, everything like that.
That's amazing.
$32,000 check.
Love that.
So that was quite good. And that was specific tactical advice that I got directly from the videos that I watched.
And for free.
For free.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing.
Free.
So, and then from that, you decided to actually reach out and have a conversation.
Yeah. So I reached out and we spoke, I think, maybe less than a month after that appointment. I'm like, hey, I'm super pumped. You got great stuff. I've watched everything that you're doing. And we actually ended up partnering.
Which is awesome.
After that.
Yeah, which is so cool. And then what I think is so awesome is that you're utilizing that same strategy, not only in your business, but also with a product that you created for agents. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely. So not only do I use exactly what I'm learning through Elite Builders and through Aaron's information that he is just passing out to everybody that joins and partners with us.
Yeah.
But I'm using those same things to help my business and then help other real estate agents in their business grow and scale.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific. Well, I'm super pumped to be partnered with you.
Yeah.
It's awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah.
And look forward to building this together, man.
Yeah. And even better yet, since I've joined Elite Builders, I've gotten probably 4 or 5 referrals.
Have you really?
From people in Elite Builders.
Oh, that's so awesome, dude.
And it's almost to my advantage. So even if you're not in the South Florida area or where other major Elite
Builders, because we're as clear across the country as we could possibly
be.
Yes?
I'm in Arizona and Oregon.
Yeah.
And Aaron's out here in South Florida.
Yeah.
So it almost works to your advantage. So if you're in a market that is completely away from where the major Elite Builders are at, I would implore you just to check things out, look into Aaron a little bit. And so not only have I increased my business just by learning what
how much would you say you increased your business by?
Double.
Wow.
Yeah, more than double.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And I was doing good business before.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah.
But it's been really, really helpful. And so not only have I gotten great information, but I've gotten proximity
Sure.
to
Yeah.
really smart, good people.
Yeah.
And I've gotten referrals just from joining this group.
Yeah. So even with referrals, separate from equity and separate from the rev share opportunity, it's profitable for you. You're like 100% essentially.
Oh, totally. I'm like really making out great for
That's
this.
awesome,
So,
man.
yeah, if somebody's worried about just production, like just getting deals and everything, a great way is just having a great network, because your network is your net worth.
Sure.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you've gotten from proximity is a really high level instruction that you can deploy. That's tactical, not, I like to say a lot, people teach mindset because they can't teach tactics, right? You've also gotten an ecosystem, a community of people that are referring you leads and opportunities. And you've learned some things that have allowed you to create products and services that you're selling now.
Yes.
And you also have equity and rev share.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I don't see a downside.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't either. Yeah.
So I think if anybody is kind of on the fence, they should at least have a conversation and check out more deals. I guess I'm just curious though, if somebody is a new agent out there and they're not yet really established.
Yeah.
If for example you were starting over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. What would you do? And where would you start? And specifically, how would you go about creating your business?
Yeah. So the first thing is I think I would do what you did, which is I would get proximity to somebody who actually knows.
Who's done it?
Who's done it. The challenge is that our industry is full of people. We live in a time where you don't have to be competent in order to be known.
Yeah.
Or to be famous.
Yeah.
So it's finding people who have a demonstrated ability. I would call them believable. They've done the thing that you want to do consistently over an extended period of time.
Yeah.
The second thing I would do is stack my time on top of the skill of knowing how to sell. It's the specialized knowledge of this business.
Yes.
Right? So what to say and how to say it, which you went down that route.
Yeah.
Watching, I think, 100 hours worth of videos.
Yeah.
Writing stuff out, right? And learning how to set appointments, pre-qualify appointments, go on appointments, handle objections, and close. And spending a lot of time learning that and getting into an environment like we have a role play group that guarantees role play partner 5 days a week, but getting into an environment where you can be applying that specialized knowledge that you're learning, because that's where the magic happens. And then the last thing I would say is it kind of goes back like as far as like community, get around people that are like-minded, that are going down the same path, trying to do the same thing. And if you do all of those things with a high degree of probability, you'll be successful.
Yeah. What I found is that you were obviously a really great salesperson in your career.
Yeah.
And those tactical pieces of advice that you've given me have helped me become a better salesperson. Now, what I'm aware of is probably what you're aware of is that combining the sales skills with a great marketing system.
Oh, it's lights out.
Because that's what I'm doing now is I have a marketing system where just probably 7 weeks ago, I spent $400 on ads. I created the whole system, blah, 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 blah. $400 on ads. Lady comes in, she clicks on my ad, becomes a lead, watches my video sales letter presentation where I'm teaching her how to buy a house, this, that, and the other. Self-books onto my calendar. We hold the appointment 2 days later.
Sign a buyer brokerage agreement.
Signed the buyer broker agreement. No objections.
Love it.
Because we handled everything in the video, which I wasn't there for. I was like watching a movie while she's while she's watching my video. And then within the span of 8 weeks, I'll have made a 20x return on investment.
That's fantastic.
So I think that's like really, really cool. And I want that for more agents.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is combining everything you're teaching with the marketing system and putting them together.
Because those two together are what's required if you want to scale and do business in a way that's more like leverage and more efficient.
Yeah. Because I have been a cold caller as I know you have as well, but it's 1-to-1.
Sure.
And there's a lot of people that you have to sort of sort through to get to people that want to transact.
That's right.
Business.
Yeah. And because media is a mechanism that allows me to speak one to kind of infinitely many, it's a great generator of leads. And then you can walk them down that system.
And what I found is you're attracting people. So I feel like you attracted me to your content.
Yeah. Because I didn't pick up the phone and call you.
No. You never called me. You never had to like take me out to coffee. No. As a lot of other agent attractors are doing. None of that. You posted digital real estate on YouTube.
Sure.
I went to it. I binged all the content.
Yep.
And now I'm here. We're partnering together and we're working. So,
I love that, man.
Yeah. So I really want to say I appreciate all your work.
Yeah.
I appreciate the organization you build.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm just like really excited to be an elite builder.
Same, dude. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, yeah. My name is Aaron Novello. I am from sunny South Florida. Right here is our hometown.